Hi, I'm Bob Sharp from camp here at Smith System, and I'm going to show you how to build a right-hand mobile lectern in the Motum line today. It's highly recommended that you use a second person in the assembly process. This is Matt Dewey. He'll be helping me out today. We are going to follow along the printed version of the assembly instructions, and this is where we are going to get all of our references to item numbers and whatnot. So, first step, according to assembly instructions, is we're going to assemble these two legs, which is items 3 and 4, and we're going to use fastener number 1 using the supplied Torx bit. We're going to fasten down these two panels BB. So we only install these 4 fasteners to start with. Do your best to leave equal gaps between this side and this side. You can use a credit card or anything like that if you want, or eyeballing it is sufficient. And then the top edge of this piece should line up with the top edge of item number 3 and 4. And for now, we're not going to shoot the fastener into this guy yet. Okay, next prepping step that we're going to do is we're going to assemble panel X. We're going to take this guy right here, slide it in underneath, and we're going to fasten it in place with 4 number 3 fasteners and 4 number 9 fasteners. Just finger tighten them. We'll cinch them down all the way near the end of the assembly process. And then we're going to leave it a little bit loose. What we're going to do is we're going to take our latch kit and we're going to take this part out and the 2 smaller fasteners. Since we are building a right-hand desk or right-hand lectern, we are going to put this on the right hand over here. And then this may take a little bit of adjusting once we're near the final steps again. So for now, we'll just line it up to be square with the front face here. Okay, next step is we're going to take our previously assembled panel X and slide it into item number 2. So, all right, next we're going to take our previous assembled items 3 and 4, the 2 legs, and then our item number 2 here on the bottom. And we're going to, with the help of Matt here, I'm going to pick these legs up and slide them over. And the key is, if you can see right here, is that this flange needs to go in between this piece of wood and this piece. So just like so. We're gonna do the same on this side. Like so. And then before you start fastening anything in, fastener number 1, we're gonna take this panel and we're gonna pull it back like this, and one of us will hold it and the other person will shoot the fasteners. Okay, next we're going to take the hinge, item number 5, and we're going to install it on our assembly here. If you're building a right-hand desk like us, you're going to put it on the right side, and if you're building a left-hand desk, you're going to put it on the left side. It will be the opposite of your hinge, or of your latch that you've already installed. This installs with 2 number 1 fasteners, and the hinge itself is directional. If you see here, there's a horizontal and a vertical slot. The horizontal slot is facing up when assembling in this position. There's a 3rd hole here, and this is a hole that we're going to use once we've done all of our final adjustments to make sure that the door hangs nice and square. Next thing we're going to do is take panel AA and install it on the back side here. For this step, we're only going to install the bottom 3 fasteners, and when you install it, try to make sure that this edge is flush with this edge like these other panels have. Just using number 1 screw. Next, we're going to take panel Y, and with the hole facing towards me, we're going to fish it through the leg like so. And we're going to drop it down, like so, and then gently just tow the leg out a little bit so we have clearance. And then we're going to pick up and pull like that. And then before we start fastening the screws in, we're going to try to make sure that we're touching on both sides here, and I'm going to be pulling towards the back. This takes 8 number 1 fasteners. Okay, next we're going to take item number 6 and 8 fastener number 3s and attach it here as shown. Note the orientation of the plate. This triangle hole pattern, the single screw should be facing forward. And it may be necessary to get a helping hand to squeeze these guys together depending on how well the unit was assembled. Okay. Next step, we're going to take panel B and slide it in as shown, and the hole of this guy should be roughly in the same place as this guy. And we're going to use fastener number 1s to hold this in place. I recommend shooting the screws in the back 2 corners first. And then doing the rest. Next, we're going to take the unit and lay it on its back side, like this. And we're going to use 4 number 1 fasteners, and we're going to finish in fastening in panel A in the back here. Next, we're going to take items 10 and 11 and assemble them together. The thing to note is that there's tape on one side of this plate. That's going to face down. And the cords come out one side of this lift here, and that will be facing the same direction as the wider part of this plate. We're going to fasten it in place using 4 fastener number 5s and 4 fastener number 10s using the supplied Allen key. Okay, next we're going to take the previous assembled lift and we're going to carefully fish it through the 3 holes as shown. And that's going to help me guide it through. And the thing to note is the cords should be facing up on the lift as shown here.
Okay, so we're going to be screwing in the column using the number 4 fastener and the supplied Allen key. You may have to twist it to be able to get the screws to line up. There we go.
Alright, next we're going to take our lock kit, and there's a locking plate in there, and we're going to hammer it in to the pre-drilled holes, like shown. Next, we're going to take the lock itself, and the orientation of the lock is important. We want to make sure that the numbers stamped on the face of the lock face in towards the center of the board. If this piece comes out, it's okay. It'll get locked in further with the nut. Next, we're going to take the nut, tighten it on here, and using an industrial wrench, we're going to snug her down. So, and next we're going to install the locking arm using the fastener that came in the kit. Orientation is important on this. We want to make sure that this little jog is facing down towards the board and is facing the opposite direction of the pre-drilled holes for the latch, like shown. Tighten this in place. Okay, next we're just gonna triple check that we installed the lock properly. Insert the key, turn it, and the arm should face out towards the edge of the board like so. So we're good. Next, we're gonna install the final piece of the latch itself. Orientation is important. We wanna make sure that the hook is pointing in towards the center. There's a little arrow also that shows it can point in through the center. Install this with the 2 larger fasteners included in the latch kit. start out by centering the latch. Some adjustments may be necessary once you get the door installed. Next step, we're going to take our previously assembled door and mount it to the hinge here. It really helps to have an extra helping hand. The mount's going to help me hold it in place. First thing we're going to do is line it up with the two pre-drilled holes that are already here. A little bit higher. Right there. And now we're going to confirm that the door actually hangs nice and level. If we got lucky, it'll hang level on your first try, which looks like we got pretty lucky here. If not, you can loosen this screw and this will allow you to tow this up to get it to hang level again. Our latch latched properly also, so we don't need to do any more adjustments there either. So since we're happy with the position that we have, we're going to shoot another #1 screw into this hole here, and this will lock the door in place. And then we're going to take fastener #2 and shoot it in a hidden hole back here to also lock the hinge in place on the metal components.
That hole's in the same spot.
There we go. Okay, so next step, we're going to take the top, panel W, place it on top of the butterfly plate without removing any of the adhesive backing yet. And when he presses down on this, I'm going to pull on the right handle here, and we're going to press it down until we make contact with the metal components. And then I'm going to release, and we're good. Next step, we recommend taking the unit and pressing it up against something vertical. We like to use doors because doors are normally pretty vertical. We're going to remove the adhesive backing, and we are carefully going to place it top down. And notice the orientation of panel W. There's a bunch of pre-drilled holes for your handle, and those will be facing towards the front of the unit. So we're going to press it back up against the unit and down. And before we get crazy and press stuff down really hard, we're going to take our T-square and confirm that our top is hanging over the sides equally. Good. Okay. So next we're going to give it a really good push, try to seat that adhesive. And now I'm going to pull on the right panel, and Matt is going to try to keep a lot of pressure on the top to keep it from moving.
Make sure you pull it away from the door when you do this.
And I'm going to lift up on it like so. Like so. And he's going to keep pressure on it still. So next we are going to use 4 #1 fasteners to fasten the plate to the top, using the 4 countersunk holes in each corner of the plate. Okay, next step is we're going to fasten the handle in place. The handle can actually be mounted on your right or left hand operation. It is up to you. Normally for the right hand model that we're building here, we're going to put it on right hand operation. We fasten the handle in place using 2 fastener #1s. And there are pilot holes on the underside here to give you a correct location. Next, using 2 of the supplied clips, item number 6, we're going to hold the cables in place. All right, now the unit is fully assembled. It's super easy to operate. The right lever goes up and down. The left lever does tilt. So I like to just actually pull both of them, push down, let go, and there it is in its down form.